Hello. During this video, I'm going to be showing you how to instrument an application for security analysis using the Contrast Node agent. The Node agent is a module which you can quickly add to a Node application to look for security vulnerabilities within your web application or API in pre-production environments. You can also use the same agent to block attacks against your application in production environments. There are a number of ways you can obtain the Node agent, but for this video, we'll be using the simplest approach, which is to download the agent from the Contrast team server. If you're including the Node agent as part of a Docker container or CI/CD build process, then you can also fetch the agent via the Contrast REST API. For today's demonstration, I'll be using the Node.go application as created by OWASP. This contains a number of vulnerabilities that we can use Contrast to detect, including vulnerabilities like NoSQL injection, unvalidated redirects, and cross-site scripting. I've already cloned this repository, and as you can see, I have it running locally here in the browser, so let's get started with the instrumentation process. The first step is to download the agent, which is currently around 6 megabytes. I'm also going to download a configuration file for the agent, which is very small. And then I need to copy these to my application's root directory. So I'll go ahead and do that in the background. Once the Contrast module's been added to your application root directory, then it's fairly straightforward to install it. So I'm just going to grab this command here. So this is the npm install command. You'll see it picked up the agent file name, and then I'm going to add no save just so it isn't added to my package.json. That'll take a few seconds to run. Meanwhile, I can go ahead and add this script to start the application. It means that I'll then be able to run npm run contrast if I want to start it. So let's put that in. And it's important here to look at what your application entry point is. So mine is server.js. So I'll update that, save it. Then it should be just a case of running the command. So let's go ahead and do that. So the command line output will show you that Contrast is running. It's starting the application server, and you can see I've got a Slack notification there to tell me that a new application has been onboarded. And I've got an immediate vulnerability there. So as Contrast starts up, every time a class is loaded, it's looking for vulnerabilities. So let's exercise the application a little bit. So here I'm testing the application manually. If you were testing your application in a CI/CD pipeline using integration tests or end-to-end tests, this would be the same approach. It would be exercising the application, and Contrast is watching the data flow through the running application. So I'm not doing anything unusual here. I'll just go through and use it, fill in some form fields, click through the various links that we've got. And you can see I'm collecting vulnerabilities as we go. So very straightforward. So let's have a look at those vulnerabilities within Contrast. So we should have seen a new application get onboarded. Here it is. Immediately it's got a grade of F, which is the lowest. One of the vulnerabilities we have here is unvalidated redirect. The vulnerability is that an attacker here would be able to manipulate the URL parameter and send the victim to a malicious site, or even a clone of this site which was controlled by the attacker. So the victim here may not notice that they've been redirected, and they may enter their login credentials, for example, into a site that was actually controlled by the attacker. Contrast will actually provide the URL where this vulnerability lies and the source of code that needs attention. And then Contrast will provide the developer with some remediation advice which they can use to protect the users of the application from this type of attack in future. Thank you for watching.